folk singer's funeral was held this morning at Montreal's Notre Dame Basilica. McGarrigle died 2 weeks ago at the age of 63. She had battled clear cell sarcoma, a rare form of cancer, for 18 months. Her children, of course, are also accomplished vocalists, Rufus and Martha Wainwright. They both sang at today's service. The Kate McGarrigle Fund, which goes to research, education, and patient care relating to sarcoma, has received almost $13,000 in donations since the singer's death. Now, coming up, family and friends paid final tribute today to Kate McGarrigle. The Canadian folk singer's funeral was held this morning at Montreal's Notre Dame Basilica. McGarrigle died 2 weeks ago of cancer at the age of 63. Her children are accomplished vocalists, and Rufus and Martha Wainwright both sang at today's service. The Kate McGarrigle Fund for Research into Cancer has received almost $13,000 in donations since the singer's death. Now, still ahead.
Montreal is mourning a much-loved local musician, Kate McGarrigle. She died of cancer last month. A funeral service was held today at the Notre Dame Basilica. About 500 people attended. Along with the prayers and the eulogy, there was also a musical tribute. McGarrigle's family said she will be remembered for her love of Jack Kerouac and Quebec. She began her musical career in the 1960s, performing in the coffee houses of Montreal. A private service for the family will be held tomorrow. It was a record-setting night.
Saying goodbye to Kate McGarrigle, hundreds of people bid farewell to one of Quebec's favorite voices.
For my dear friend Kate, nothing could have kept me away.
Investing in organic
Die down and some flakes move in.
Good evening, I'm Jennifer Hall.
And I'm Andrew Chang. Our top story at this hour, a Montreal music icon laid to rest.
Some of the world's biggest music stars were in Montreal today, but it wasn't for a show or a celebration. They were here to remember Kate McGarrigle, the Quebec folk legend who died last week. Amanda Margison was at the ceremony.
This was an emotional and a musical tribute for someone I understand lived her life espousing those values. Rufus said that his mother used to serve up a bowl of truth and make you eat it. Her sister Anna stood up and read one of her favorite Jack Kerouac poems where he wrote, "These are the people who burn, burn, burn." And she said her sister Kate was just like that. She also explained how difficult it was to be standing up there alone because, of course, the two shared a stage for so many years, 3 decades together making music. One of the most touching moments, I have to say, though, was when her daughter Martha spoke. And she said, as soon as you met Kate, you realized that this was a soul that needed more space. Perhaps a way to explain such an early death. Kate McGarrigle was only 63 years old when she died. As I said, this was a musical tribute. Emmylou Harris performed. So did Rufus Wainwright. He sat down at the grand piano and just made the basilica shake with music. And Martha Wainwright also led the family and many musical friends in a rendition of the last song that Kate McGarrigle wrote. It was truly a beautiful and a touching tribute.
A lot of fond memories of the Log Driver's Waltz myself. The city of Montreal is hundreds of people said goodbye today to a Canadian folk legend. Kate McGarrigle's funeral was held at Montreal's Notre Dame Basilica. The tribute was both emotional and musical, fitting for a singer whose personality was said to be as great as her songs. Amanda Margison reports.
The cold silence in old Montreal was broken when Kate McGarrigle's coffin arrived. Her family huddling close. 2 children trying to keep their mother's sense of humor alive. And of course, a sister, unsure that she'd be able to stand up alone. Kate, in public, was rarely without Anna. The two performed together for 3 decades, singing their way into the hearts of both French and English listeners. Today, dozens of them arrived early, many touched by a woman they'd never met.
She's still with us. She'll be with us. The spirit of music carries you a long way.
The piano arrived first, and when Kate's son played her favorite song, the basilica shook.
Je l'ai joué pour elle avant qu'elle meure, et juste avant. Et, you know, it's a good song.
Others, too, sang out for Kate, old friends who at one time shared the stage.
Her and Anna's music was very inspirational to me, but once I got to know them, it was their company that I loved.
Those who knew her called her a force, one who at 63 years old was gone too soon. Her daughter, in her eulogy, said it was always clear that Kate McGarrigle was a soul in need of more space. Today, the family asked that donations be made to the Kate McGarrigle Fund. She'd set it up herself, hoping to help with cancer research, in particular clear cell sarcoma, the rare form that finally proved even too much for her. Amanda Margison, CBC News, Montreal.
The Alcoa.
Plus, funeral for a friend.
So they all said,
Plus, funeral for a friend.
so they all said beautiful things, but original things, and they made us laugh and they made us cry.
Remembering the life and times of Kate McGarrigle.
And
Good evening, friends, fans, and family gathered this morning to remember a Canadian music great, folk singer, songwriter Kate McGarrigle. She was known for her rich, honest lyrics and melodies.
She died of cancer last month at her home in Outremont. She was 63 years old. Her funeral was held in a packed Notre Dame Basilica in Old Montreal. Rob Lurie has more.
Famous friends like Emmylou Harris and famous family like her children Rufus and Martha Wainwright followed Kate McGarrigle's casket into the basilica.
I just want to thank everybody for their tremendous support and outpouring of love.
Kate McGarrigle was best known as a folk singer, performing for decades with her sister Anna. She was remembered as a straight-shooting free spirit. Martha recounted how all her friends were jealous that she had a mom who was so fun and beautiful.
They all said beautiful things, but original things, and they made us laugh and they made us cry.
Both Rufus and Martha Wainwright sang, as did Emmylou Harris. Anna McGarrigle read a poem to her sister, but spoke of feeling out of sorts. Usually when I'm on stage, it's with Kate, she said.
Her beauty and her legacy and the love, and
This longtime fan couldn't stay away.
to honor her, to pay my respects to a great artist who's touched a lot of hearts.
Her song spoke to me, the harmonies of the sisters, and I really did love them a lot, I must admit. I had all the records, I knew all the words, and I was an admirer.
Kate McGarrigle had many admirers. In a tribute book, she was remembered as outrageous at times, but anything was more fun when Kate was along. Kate McGarrigle was 63. Rob Lurie, CTV News.